Good evening. As Mr. Rosano mentioned, March 2014, and we are to prepare ourselves financially. I guess the question to that is, what is the retirement fund? What do we have in plan when that day comes? I guess we want to know that. The other concern I have is for the new retirees. You know, let's say, example, they put in 50,000, retired a couple of years and only earned 20, and retirement goes belly up. Has the fund taken that into consideration, or is there anything mentioned in the fund for those people who have just retired? Because I know there are some people here who retired 20 years already and are still collecting. And you know, when I came into government back in '91, and I saw the SHIP USS Retirement Fund, and I saw how it's ran, I anticipated this day. Because I don't know any retirement in the world that would put in 5 cents and collect $1. If there's any investment in this world that can do that right now, I think everyone in this room will run after that. Because that's where we're at right now. The problem is USS retirement funds.
Well, responding to your question, as far, let me answer this question first. So as far as what do we have planned for March 2014, the answer is, if we do not get more money appropriated from the legislature, if the government does not keep current on its obligations to pay us timely, and we are not able to collect additional funds from the autonomous agencies who owe us about $60 billion, we will not be able to pay the benefits. So there is no way for us to pay money or issue checks for money that we do not have. So earlier in my beginning comments, when I told you that we have pension obligations of about $72 million, and you know we have to pay about $6 million a month, the legislature last year gave us a $10 million appropriation for employer contributions. Now, you know as well, as you said, you've been involved in this since 1991, and you know how long this has been going on. You know full well that if I have to pay out $72 million a year, we only receive from the legislature $10 million a year, and you know, Ms. Patel might disagree with me, but at least historically, the contributions and the monies that the government owed, even pursuant to statute, came over slowly, if at all. You know what's going to happen, and so we are attempting to extend the life of the fund, even without settlement. We're trying to do that. Like I said, the drawdowns have been far less in the last 2 months. If that continues, without promising anybody anything, we think the experts are going to tell us very shortly that the fund will continue a little bit longer. But I don't think that you would want to rely on that outside of settlement. You want to make your personal financial obligations and get ready for what could be the worst case scenario. And of course, the worst case scenario is that there is no more money to pay out and that the checks do not get dispersed. Now that doesn't mean that you don't have rights, and that doesn't mean that your monies are not still due and owing. The only problem is the obligations would be the obligations of the government and the CNMI. It would not be an obligation of the retirement fund. I mean, the retirement fund is a pass-through conduit entity that takes in money in the form of trust, invests that money, manages those funds within the statutory rules in order to make sure that the pension benefits get paid. But when that trust is depleted and there are no more appropriations, that is the worst case scenario.
I'll give it to you on Thursday.
And the second part of your question,
We have a meeting on Thursday. Thursday night we have a meeting after the meeting.
Let's say half or whatever you put in. What plans are there for, because 1782 is saying,
You're next, for sure.
1782 is giving the employees back the money and gave the employee. Well, for the retirees that have not gotten back most or all of their contributions, is there a provision in the law that states that, oh, for those folks that have not gotten back every penny that they put in, you're going to get your money back? We have not heard anything as such, so that's one of the concerns that we have.
So if I understand your question correctly, you're saying for those of us who have retired, say within the last 6 months,
Right.
and you've only got 12 checks, are there going to be provisions to make sure that your money is caught up?
Right.
Is that your question?
Right, if she goes belly up March 2014, and hopefully active employees 1782 also get their money, but what about us who have put in our service, our money, and we got, let's say, a third of it? See?
Yeah.
But people have been retired 5 years or more, I'm pretty sure they got more than what they put in. But for those of us who just retired, like yesterday, last month, a couple of years, what's going to happen to our money?
Okay, I understand. I understand your question. Again, the government would owe those monies to you. But I think what your real question is any additional benefits going to be made or plans made for that particular group? And the answer is no. Those retirees are going to be treated just like all the other retirees. So once you're retired, everybody's in the retirement group, and you're all getting paid your benefits out of the transfer pension benefit, and that's my understanding. I guess the legislature could change that, but I don't know of any law.
So your answer is no?
Big no.
Right now, no.
You lose out bids.
Just for clarification on the trustee's response, for those new retirees who have not taken back all their contributions, those amounts are protected under Judge Govendo's order, they fall under the tranche A funding. But those retirees who have already received all their funding are not protected under tranche A.
Thank you.
Hello, good evening, my name is Junior Strong. I just want to ask, in regards to Mrs. Sabam's question, she works for 13, 14 years. The question is there is what her contribution during those times. What happened to the money? All of these people that know that they're going to retire, not enough money because somebody didn't put it in the pot. The question is why? And another question, who gave you people consent to let our retirement borrowed by somebody? We got a vote so everybody can write into black and white a consent that you have the right to remodify every laws and regulations of the retirement. Again, I'm going to ask you, so many people, young generation, now we got conflict because the new retirement that they're going to retire, there's nothing money. And us, I work for 30 years in the government, they're going to tell me too that I don't have money. And I tell you, I went to state, so many people now, they depend on your retirement. The school went to university, they pursue their goal to have a good hope for the peace, for the better life. Now you're turning us back and you're making us scared because we are lack of funds. Why can't we appoint somebody that really can do it? And please, starting next meeting, call those beautiful, handsome Congress and come here and talk. Where's the retirement chairman? I'm very frustrated because for me, I don't need a retirement, I got enough. But for those people that really need for the kids, what happened to the 15 years later for this young man? What is talking about? What happened to her money or their money like Mrs. Sablan? Who took the money? The Congress, the Spirit? I don't know. Where did the fund go? Still up to now, I give my retirement, they deduct me again. Where did the deduction go? Please, Mr. Cabrera, I really admire you because, you're really working hard for us, and thanks for helping us. And we really want to see you, everybody, please try and achieve your goals so you can help us, especially those just newly retired. They've been waiting for so many years. And I work since doing cross-territorial work in the government. And every time there's deficit in Saipan, we are the one carrying the shoulder of the deficit of Saipan. We are the one, the retirees, the one paying the deficit because it's their fault. It's not our fault. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Sablan, the money for the people who are still working and will be getting their refund because most of them, I understand, have already applied. The only thing that's holding up that payment is the court. Now, Mr. Brazano, you heard him say that during June 2024, there will be a global settlement, and following a decision, I don't know whether a decision is going to be made, but following that hearing, a decision will be made to pay those people who have put in application. Now, in regards to us, all of us, people who are retirees and people who are retiring, let me say this. Article 2, Section 20 of the Constitution of the CNMI says that benefits may not be decreased nor impaired. Kung ikilignas din ang tisina natunog, karibahan, o tisina lokay niya mabay, mapalatsai, may stop by stopping. Luwag sa masisilihan, it's been going on. The impairment has been going on. We know that. Obviously, the people that we keep electing back to offices do not care much about their obligation because they should be mindful of the fact that they have raised up their hands, and the other hand on the Bible, and swear to protect and defend the Constitution of the CNMI and all the laws of the CNMI. Now, the Section B, big Papa, Article 20, is subsection D, ilaling niya na kung cumple the años, if you have served the CNMI government for 20 years, you're eligible to retire and you get a 5-year bonus. So altogether you have 25 years. That's for purposes of calculating your pension. Now, I told you this a long time ago, even before I got voted into the board of directors, that the obligation to pay the retirees is with the government. Whether or not the retirement fund is broke or not, they still gotta pay. The question really where will the government get its money? And how are we going to get that money? The problem is maybe the CRA or another association will have to hire a lawyer and take the government to court and take all the legislators to court to get the money. Or maybe we stand at the finance office and wait for the collection. As the collection comes, we grant the collection. For that, maybe it's possible under the American jurisprudence, maybe we can do that. But it's writ of execution. We get a writ of execution from the court, we go collect, we take the money. Right? Okay, any more questions before we adjourn? It's hot in here. We're not going to have any meeting in here anymore. Any more questions? Sister Suwan?
Este questiono para il staff retirement fund. Coba plano por assunto de member home loan program. Já iniciar costo na mati ora. Já pokok sa lapio suno po maribaha i beneficio. Coba plano gangiwa ofeno na plano susma.
I guess the question is, for the trustees' benefit, does the fund have a plan to address the member home loan program as and when March 2014 comes?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know if we really discussed that. But we will talk about that and see what we're going to do. But I can't tell you that I recall us really coming to any resolution with respect to that. But we'll try to get a response to you.
The thing is, the fund is collecting on member home loans, and we have been foreclosing foreclosing on certain properties, unfortunately, but yet we are protecting the fund's interest.